You go to a restaurant, but do you really know how to behave the right way? There are important details that no one teaches you about how to behave in a restaurant, like how to call the waiter, how to politely mention that your dish came out wrong. I'll give you these and other tips in this video. So stay with me until the end because I'm sure this content will be very valuable for you. Hello, how are you? I'm Juliana Santiago. In today's video, I'm going to tell you a bit more about how to behave properly and elegantly in a restaurant. And the content of this video will also be very useful for you to know how to behave at dinners. So stay with me because the content of this video is very informative and will help you a lot. The first point is how to get the waiter's attention politely. I said right at the beginning of the video that I was going to show you how to do this the right way, and I admit it's very simple. There's no need for you to call the waiter like, "Hey man, come here," snapping your fingers, shouting, "Hey!" There's no need to make a scene. You should be discreet and subtle when calling the waiter. So what should you do? You should first make eye contact with the waiter and raise 2 fingers, right? Without making it look like you're pointing at the person. So don't raise just 1 finger, raise 2 fingers or even your whole hand. The person will notice, right? The waiter will understand that it's a signal for you to call them over to your table. And all that communication becomes easier and without misunderstandings. Another point is what to do when an order comes out wrong. First thing, call the waiter politely, just like I explained earlier. So you're here and the waiter is next to you. Second point, call the waiter by their name. And discreetly, you're going to mention that your dish isn't right, that the steak isn't cooked the way you ordered, and that you'd like to have it checked. Don't change your tone of voice. Don't speak arrogantly. And if possible, do it discreetly as well, especially if you're sharing the table with a lot of people, so you don't cause a scene in that situation. Also avoid comments like, "I'm going to call the manager," who's your boss, because that's not appropriate and it's not assertive communication. Of course, there may be situations that go beyond the relationship between the waiter and the customer, but in general, try to resolve the situation directly with the waiter. Remember to look them in the eyes and try to keep a smile. Smile in your voice, smile in your eyes, in your words. Speak attentively and in a delicate and subtle way without raising your voice. One important thing that happens a lot in restaurants, which is interesting to mention, is that especially when dealing with other people, the people who share the table with us, they notice a lot. So it's no use being someone who has good table manners if, when the waiter comes, you treat people and the staff of that restaurant badly. So it's important for you to notice this because many times you consider yourself an elegant person. But are you really elegant? Elegant only when it's convenient for you, and that's not a good path. Another question is also about where to put your purse. Where should I put a backpack? The ideal is to always place it on the chair next to you. So it's always a good idea to leave a chair right next to you. You can also put it on your lap, especially if your purse is smaller or if you're in an environment where you don't feel very safe. Sometimes, for example, at an outdoor restaurant, then you don't want to leave your purse there. So you can also put your purse on your lap. If your purse is too big, you can't do that. Ideally, leave it beside you, which also applies to a backpack. With a smaller purse, you can keep it on your lap. An interesting accessory that I really like is that purse holder, those purse hooks. I have this kind of accessory and I think it's very practical. I think it's a very functional accessory. And it's even a stylish accessory for you to have in your purse. Remember that it's not a good idea to leave your purse on the back of your chair or even on top of the table. On the table, it's not hygienic or elegant. And on the back of the chair, besides not being one of the safest options, it can also get in the way of things running smoothly in the restaurant. The waiter might kick your bag might keep falling, your things could fall out too, and you might not even notice. So it's a matter of safety, logistics, and how the establishment operates. So it's important for you to pay attention to that. I'll even leave a link for a bag holder here in the video description for you for anyone interested in getting this item. I'll leave it here in the description, okay? Another accessory that also doesn't belong on the table is the cell phone. Many people arrive at the table and put their cell phone on it, right? Because many times they're waiting for an important call or they want to get a message from someone. But one thing we need to establish is that when we're at a restaurant, when we're at dinner, the time we're spending there with the people at the table is much more important than what's actually happening on the phone. So try to keep your phone put away, if possible, inside your bag. If you want to take a picture or record something, do it and then post it later, okay? Live in the moment and post it later. Also, don't keep checking posts, WhatsApp notifications, or things that aren't important during dinner or while you're in the restaurant. If you want to talk to someone or even need to take a call, it's a good idea to step away from the table, do what you need to do, and then come back. Staying there talking and leaving the other person just sitting and watching you is very rude and inconsiderate. Guys, it's raining really hard here at my house, which is where I record, so I'm not sure how the audio sounds. I hope everything's okay, but there's a huge rainstorm going on here. Since we're on the subject of cell phones, when you want to leave the table, it's a good idea to excuse yourself, right? So you just say, look, just a minute, I'll be right back. There's no need for you to explain, right? The reason why you're stepping away. But it's a good idea to excuse yourself to that person. Oh, just a minute, I need to take care of something. I'll be right back. It's much more polite and much more assertive. The same goes for when you want to go to the restroom. There's no need to announce to everyone that you're going to the bathroom or the restroom. So just excuse yourself and go, then come back and everything's fine. By the way, if you keep coming back to the channel, always watching the videos but not subscribing, take this opportunity to subscribe to the channel and like this video because I'm always here with lots of content. Make sure your subscription is active because I'm always here waiting for you. One thing that's interesting for us to talk about when we talk about restaurants, when we talk about meals, dinner, is how to position your cutlery when you're finished. Yes, there is a silent language of cutlery. So yes, there is this language and we need to understand that it's a way for us to communicate with the waiter. In the case of a restaurant, or with waiters at a party or a bigger event where there is staff working, that you have finished your meal. So, when you finish your meal, the correct way to position your cutlery, I'll leave the plate here, is like this. You should place the fork and then the knife together. Don't leave the cutlery scattered in the middle of the plate, okay? By placing them this way, the waiter or the staff working at that establishment will understand that you have finished and that you are satisfied. I'll even show you here, look, in a clearer way how you're going to place them. Don't forget to do it, okay? Now, speaking of the meal itself, one thing I wanted to discuss with you is about those of you who have the habit of adding salt and seasonings to your food before even tasting it. That can seem disrespectful. So ideally, you should first taste the food. And if it's not to your liking, you can ask for condiments, salt, olive oil, or whatever you need to add to your food. Many times, the restaurant already brings it and leaves it available for their customers. So you can just take it and use it. If they don't have it, taste your food first, try it before adding anything. Especially foods that already have some kind of sauce that have already been seasoned, like a salad, it already comes with dressing, it already has a specific seasoning. So try it first before asking for something or making your request. One thing I think few people consider or sometimes have never really paid attention to is taking photos of food. There are people who like to take pictures of their food, whether to document it, show someone, or remember that special moment. But we need to be clear that this is not a photo studio. That is a moment that is actually going to happen. And it's not polite for people to start eating before everyone has been served and for everyone to start eating together. So if you keep taking pictures of your food, trying to get the perfect shot, the perfect photo, that can make people uncomfortable and you might ruin that moment. So do it discreetly without taking exaggerated photos, okay? And a question that I know comes up a lot is about wine, right? Wine tasting. You go to a restaurant, you want to have some wine, but you don't know anything about it. So how should you handle this process? The ideal thing is to be as natural as possible. It's weird to pretend that you understand when you really don't, you know? Because people who really understand can tell when you're just trying to act like you know a lot about a subject. So you'll end up embarrassing yourself. That's not going to be good for you, right? You're really going to embarrass yourself, actually. So when you arrive at a restaurant and the waiter asks you about the type of wine, what should you do? You should mention how you like your wine. Oh, I like a smoother wine, for example. And then, ask for recommendations. There's no problem in asking to see the wine list, right? Then he might suggest, oh, I recommend this one, which is smoother. If you think that's not within your budget, you can say, oh, I'm looking for something more in this price range. Then you can point out on the wine list itself wines that are priced similarly to what you were planning to spend, right? Because money matters too. Being honest and authentic, there's nothing wrong with that. What we can't do is make a fuss. Oh, you're trying to sell me the most expensive wine. No, that looks bad. That hurts the person who's serving you. So the ideal is to be subtle and discreet. That's something that really helps in situations where you don't understand, right? Or if you want to deal with things you don't understand. So you can mention what you like, try something within your price range, what you're looking for. If the sky's the limit for you, that's fine too. You can also ask for recommendations. And when the wine arrives, ideally you should taste it. You don't need to act like a sommelier, swirling the wine and making noises. No. Taste the wine. Ah, thank you very much. He will ask if he can serve the others. Usually the wine is presented to the person who ordered it. So if you ordered the wine, if you made the request for the wine, you will be the person who will taste that drink. So he will ask you if the wine is suitable to be served to everyone. If it's a white wine, for example, and you think the wine could be colder, you can ask, wow, could you leave an ice bucket here for us so the wine can reach a more pleasant temperature? So the way you speak and the way you handle things already says a lot about you, which is what we talked about earlier. And don't try to act like you understand if you really don't. Keeping it simple, calm, gentle, and discreet will often make you come out better than trying to get attention by doing things you don't even know are right. And if you want to be sure you're behaving appropriately, whether at the table, at parties, in restaurants, or even in everyday life, it's best to learn about it too. There's no point in trying to imitate people and copy things you believe are right, things you think are right. It's much better for you to actually seek out information, for you to know what is correct. That way, you can use it in your daily life and not feel insecure. Or start replicating things without any foundation, thinking that you are actually an elegant person. So for you, I recommend my etiquette and manners training, a training program that has already been taken by thousands of people around the world. Click on the QR code right here or on the link in the description in this video and join this training. No more feeling embarrassed, no more having doubts or even doing things that don't make sense, especially at the table. In the course, there's even a module about restaurant etiquette, table manners, party etiquette that will really help you, as well as the behavioral part about how to sit, how to lead a conversation, how to greet people. It will be like the cherry on top for your more in-depth and refined behavior. And when you finish your meal, always remember to place the cloth napkin back on the table to the left side and position your cutlery in the finished position. Don't push your plate to the center of the table, throw your napkin in the middle, or lean over the table. That's not polite, it's not elegant. And most importantly, it invades other people's space. I know that these posture issues are really important. That's why I've already recorded a video here talking about posture mistakes, and I'm sure it will really complement this video. Click here on the side. Take the opportunity to learn more about our training programs. Come join the Etiquette and Manners training. It's here on the QR code and the link is also below. I'll see you in the next video. See you soon.